Okay, so today we're looking at finding the angle when it's unknown in our right angle triangle. So we've been looking at our right angle triangles and we've been labeling it, and recently we've been looking at finding the unknown side, and that's when they give us the actual angle of the triangle in the triangle. But now we are going to use find the angle. So first of all, what we need to, when we are using find the angle, what we use is the inverse of the sine, cos and tan buttons. So what the inverse means is when you see the sine to the -1, okay? So, or cos to the -1 and tan to the -1. So that, you might just write, that means the inverse trig function, we'll call it, yeah? Okay, so when you've got to find the angle, we're going to use that button, which, if you look down here and I've put a picture of it, is when you press the trig button, it's the ones down below on the bottom, on the bottom there, just those three, sorry. Okay, so in that first question, when they're saying sine angle equals this, so up here, what they've said, they've already divided the opposite side over the hypotenuse and they got that number. So when you want to find out just what the angle is, so what you press in your calculator is the inverse sine button, and then in the brackets you put the number they gave you, which was 8480, and then you can see, and I've done the first one there for us, and you can see that it ends up being 57. Now it says to 1 decimal place, so I'm going to say, what would 1 decimal place be?
0.8.
This one's going to be 58.0, yeah? Because the one up, the second decimal place is a 9, that means this one goes up, and because it's got nowhere to go, the next one has to go up. So that one ends up being 58.0. Now, we measure angles in degrees, so we might put the little symbol degree there. So then if we do the cos one, 0.5, that will equal 60. Now, it'll equal 60 exactly, but we want 1 decimal place, so we still would say 60.0 degrees, 0 degrees. And then the last one, you pop that into the calculator, the inverse tan of 1.67, and that one ends up being, okay, and inverse tan 1.67 is 59.1 degrees. Okay, so here's an example of a question now. So it says find the angle in the right angle triangle shown correct to 1 decimal place. So they're letting me know how many decimal places. So like in our other one, we should still label our triangle. So if you label the triangle, this is the hypotenuse, this is opposite, and that would be adjacent. And then what we do, and we pop it up here to remind us that we've got, these are our 3 rules, SOHCAHTOA. You still have to pick which ratio you're going to need. And because I have opposite and I have hypotenuse, because that's in the sine, that means I need to use the inverse sine to find the angle. So I'm going to do inverse sine, and then it'll be opposite over hypotenuse, because that's the sine rule. So in this case, it'll be inverse sine of 19 over 42, and you can type that straight in. So I can just say angle equals, and you can type that straight into the calculator like that, and you should hopefully get that it is, it said 1 decimal place, so I got 26.9 degrees.